Now, Lake of the Ozarks News Update. Stories, events, activities, and entertainment information of interest in and around the lake area.
I'm Ashley Kyle.
And I'm Bob Spicer.
Welcome to the Thanksgiving Lake News Update, brought to you by Lake TV and LakeExpo.com.
Well, this week we're going to look at several stories about generosity here at the lake. Some good reasons to be thankful we live in the Lake of the Ozarks community. But first, looks like the Christmas season is upon us. Some area towns celebrated the holiday season with parades this past weekend. Among them was Eldon, and this year's event included a special award for a longtime parade volunteer and a visit from the award-winning Marching Cobras out of Kansas City. Lake TV was there on a cold Saturday morning to capture it all.
Black Friday. Most people either love it or hate it, but the start of Christmas shopping season has a couple of other less known days of emphasis. Some of those are especially good for local communities. For the third year, American Express is promoting Small Business Saturday and encourages shoppers to focus their dollars on locally owned businesses. 2 days later, Cyber Monday offers web-savvy shoppers and couch potatoes the opportunity to find discounted goods. And next week, the Community Foundation of the Lake is reminding us to remember our local nonprofit organizations with Giving Tuesday, also known as the National Day of Giving. The Community Foundation of the Lake helps distribute funds to charitable organizations in the area. In less than 2 years, the foundation has awarded 11 community grants totaling more than $57,000.
Have you been to Candyland yet? That's another way folks can give back to their community this holiday season. Stationed in Stonecrest Mall, Candyland is organized by the Lake Ozark Rotary Club, and it enables people to purchase gifts for local kids who otherwise might not have anything under the tree this year. Here's how it works. Candy canes representing children from several local schools hang from trees at the Candyland headquarters. When you pick a candy cane, you receive a wish list, and then you can shop for gifts for a specific child. Then you drop them off at Candyland, where volunteers wrap them, and they're delivered to those kids' parents in time for Christmas.
Even during a time of feasting, there are some people around the lake who don't have much food to put on the table. Several local charities help those people fill the gaps on their pantry shelves. One of them, Lighthouse Mission Food Pantry, fed more than 1,000 people during the month of October. Distributions are made on the second Friday of every month from 1 to 5 p.m. The organization says it can always use some extra hands since monthly distributions require between 30 and 40 volunteers. Financial donations are accepted too, as Lighthouse is working on improvements to the distribution area. Lighthouse says last month it gave about 17,000 pounds of food to 364 families around the lake, but there's still more work to be done, and the pantry says it hopes to double those numbers during the month of November.
Here's a look at some other news from around the lake this week. The best fishing instructor would surely be a fish, if only fish could talk. But local fishing pro Jim Dill says a recent catch left him a message in his boat's live well. Dill found the pinchers of a crawfish that had been spit out by one of the bass he'd stored in there. With the lake temperature dropping, Dill says fish are pretty spread out now, but anglers should take a tip from those crawfish pinchers and pick a lure that matches them. Watch for the water temp to drop to the low 50s. Dill says that's when the fishing will improve, especially in shallow water.
James Bryant recently announced his intention to run for Morgan County Presiding Commissioner. Bryant owns Bryant's Osage Outdoors in Laurie, and he says his business experience would be an asset if he were elected. He serves on the Lake West Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors and is a member of the Church of God in Gravois Mill, along with his wife Tiffany and daughter Brooklyn. Bryant says he believes people have lost faith in their government from the national level to the county level, and what it needs is a dose of common sense.
Well, any hope for a fix to the parking issues surrounding Shady Gators has been stalled for another month. Last week, the Camden County Planning and Zoning Commission was scheduled to discuss the zoning of property owned by the Gary Pruitt Living Trust along Bittersweet Road. The purpose of that zoning would be to create a satellite parking area for Shady Gators. However, Pruitt withdrew his zoning request several days before the meeting. The commission voted to continue the case at its December 18th get-together.
A recent review by Standard & Poor's brought good news for the Sunrise Beach Fire Protection District. The organization gave the district's bonds a AA rating, which indicates a very strong capacity to meet its financial commitments. Chief Dennis Riley says the rating did point to some areas that need to be addressed, and he expects work with the district board to develop a plan that might allow an even better rating in the future. In August, voters approved a 7-cent increase to the district's tax levy.
Barn fire last week brought nearly 3 dozen firefighters from 7 districts to Mack Creek. It took crews about 2 hours to bring the blaze under control and keep it from spreading into nearby structures. The barn and 1 acre of pasture was damaged.
The Can-Am Games might come to the lake, but not in 2018. It came down to the Lake of the Ozarks in Hampton Roads, Virginia, but the event board chose Virginia in the end. A committee of 4 officials from the lake traveled to York, Pennsylvania, in the final proposal to bring the games to the lake. The event would have brought an estimated 1,500 competitors and $4 million to the Lake of the Ozarks. But all may not be lost. Once the committee has reviewed the Can-Am's board comments, it will make a decision about bidding on the games for 2020.
Beavers at the Dam is growing during the winter months. Restaurant owner Mike Shepard's purchased Bikini Pier next door to Beavers, and with it, Shepard also purchased the Captain Larry Don. For decades, the Larry Don has been a classic party boat on the lake. Shepard plans to continue that legacy, and he intends to renovate the boat, make it into a floating bar that could be also used for reserving private events. As for the expansion on land, Shepard said plans are still being drawn up, but he emphasized the need for a family-friendly atmosphere and said he hopes to make Beavers a destination at the dam for people of all ages.
A local musician is making waves with his sound across the country in a national singer-songwriter competition. Sean C. entered the competition, sponsored by Guitar Center, as one of 10,000. Now it's down to 100, and Sean is still in the runnings. In fact, among the top 100, Sean ranked 29th in the first stage. Sean sounded the praises of the lake community. Without their support, he says he never would have made it this far. A panel of judges will now decide his fate, and he expects to find out whether he's in the top 10 finalists sometime in December. For more information and a schedule of local performances, visit SeanCmusic.com.
Several local resorts and restaurants are offering Thanksgiving meals on Thursday, including Country Club Hotel, Tantera Resort, the Lodge of Four Seasons, Old Kinderhook, and Camden on the Lake. Some venues do require reservations, so make sure you call early and reserve your spot for the feast.
Thursday evening, Tantera Resort will feature its lighting extravaganza. Santa will be arriving in the Hidden Lakes parking lot at 6:30 p.m. to flip the switch for the resort's holiday lights. Kids can sit on Santa's lap, and photo packages will be available.
Deck the Docks returns to the lake this weekend. The Celebration Cruise boat will set sail every Friday and Saturday night through December 28th to see docks and lakefront homes lit up for Christmas.
And if you want to see Christmas lights by land, St. Patrick's Festival of Lights in Laurie and the Versailles Unity Circle of Lights will open to the public beginning on Thanksgiving Day.
And Saturday evening, floats, cars, and Santa's sleigh will light up the night in the Laurie Lighted Christmas Parade. The parade begins at 6 p.m. at Central Bank, then proceeds along Highway 5 to the Laurie Mall. Afterwards, Santa will be at the mall to hear kids' Christmas wishes.
And on Saturday morning, Tantera offers a chance to work off your Thanksgiving dinner with the Turkey Trot 5K. The entry fee is a non-perishable food item or new toy that can be given to a local family in need, and the run begins at 9 o'clock a.m.
Saturday afternoon, Shawnee Bluff Vineyard hosts a Bluegrass Festival from 3 to 10 p.m. The entry fee is $15 per person. That includes a bib for rib sampling. And get this, a shot glass for moonshine tasting. The rib cook-off and moonshine tasting begins at 3 p.m. The bluegrass bands play all afternoon.
On Sunday, the Lake Area Community Orchestra will kick off its winter concert series at Community Christian Church in Camdenton. The concert is free to the public and begins at 7 p.m. I'm Ashley Kyle.
And I'm Bob Spicer.
And this has been your Lake News Update, brought to you by Lake TV and LakeExpo.com.